Miss Samud Miss Samudeshwari Davamani, but she's fondly known by everybody who's ever worked at Health Plus as Sam. I think Sam, if I look back, has probably always been there in the OR at the IVF center, as far as I can remember. She's the nurse manager and has done her a BSc in nursing and also an MBA in healthcare. She has more than 17 years of experience, and I think if anybody has been through ups and downs and demonstrated resilience, it is Sam. So I hand over to Sam to talk us through resilience in healthcare.
Thank you, Dr. Neha, for wonderful introductions. Good morning, all. My name is Samandeshwari Davamani. Today, I'm going to talk about resilience in healthcare. Before I move on to topic, I just want you to ask yourself, how do you start your day? Do you start your day with happy thoughts or negative thoughts? Yeah. So whatever the thoughts, we just put all the thoughts behind us. We came to work. So we are resilience. So that is my topic today, resilience in healthcare. Okay, my objectives today is what is the definition of healthcare resilience and what are the factors affecting resilience. So how the individual to know their responsibility to become a resilient, and what is the responsibility of organizations to build up the healthcare resilience, and if the resilience is there, what are the benefits. So this will be my objectives. I just want to inform some background information of resilience. The resilience is a word, not the new word anymore. It has been used for a while in many organizations, industries. So the core point of resilience is how the person is coming out from the challenges, psychological happiness. So they may be feel their balance, have any balance of their emotional, so they have the loss of sense of dissonance. So these are the contributing factors for adversity. So what the study says, the resilience aiming to increase their inner power to come out the challenges. So the challenges may come from the internal and external environment, whatever it is, the person has to come out from that to prove us they are resilient to overcome whatever the hurdle come in their life. So let's move on to resilience theory. This resilience theory is first developed by Dr. Norman Gomasi. He is an endocrinologist. He made himself, he take a credit on, he is the first who went on research on resilience. So he found that even though the person is very brave enough to tackle everything, but they should have certain qualities to overcome the hurdles. And whereas one more researcher, his name is called Michael Reuter, he said if the person has the capabilities of coming out from the hurdles, he can be a resilient. So there is, when I do my literature reviews on resilience theory, I came across lots of information on resilience, and most of the resilience theory consists of the self high esteem, flexibility, the one must have strong relationship, spiritual freedom, they should have positive thinking strategies, how to regulate their emotional, they should have mindfulness and non-judgmental mind. If the person have all these things, they able to cope up from adversity. Okay. I just want to tell you about what is the definition exists for the resilience. The word resilience is come out from the Latin word resiliere. So resiliere means you have to move on. We have to bounce back from what happened. So we cannot stay in the emotional flood all the times. We have to move on. You can see in front of you the picture, the person is the straight rod, is making that rod into the desirable shape. Is it so easy with the use of the latest technology from the machines? But we are living human beings. We cannot be readily recoil immediately. We need some kind of inner power. That thing has to develop from us, and from the proper resources we have, we can easily come out from the emotional turmoil and we can become a resilience. So what is the American Psychological Association says? The person able to adapt mental, emotional, and behavioral disturbances, and so they can easily come out successfully and able to adapt the difficult situations. Okay. So as I said, the resilience, it's not meant to be the one disciplines. It has been in every field: sociology, psychology, medicine, engineering, economics, ecology, and political science as well. So basically, the resilience can applicable to individual and community and the system. So let's say if I'm saying about the individual, the person is suffering from the chronic cancer. The cancer is, we know that we are healthcare professional, even though we are not in healthcare professional, everyone can understand what is the consequences of cancers, what are the treatment the patient has to go, how these people going on their life. They need to move on from the they have to accept themselves that they have the cancer. I have to be on this treatment. So this is called individual resilience. I'm giving just examples how the chronic disease make the patient to feel bad and how they are coming out from that. Community resilience: if anything happened to the community, for example, earthquakes in certain places very often, this community is not they are not in the frustrated why it's happening, the earthquake, how I'm going to lead the life. So they are overcoming these natural calamities to move on their life. The system, in the system, it's existing organization, because of system failure, they may become threat from their business. So what they do, they fix the business, they fix the system by use of the leaders and experts advice. They correct the system, they move on to their core functions. So that is called system resilience. Okay. As I said, the resilience is in every field. Engineering resilience. So let's say the builders, if they want to build to the whatever the client needs, they have to give they want to end the project at properly to hand over to the customers, right? So any disturbances during the construction, of course it will affect their business. So in case if they overcome any disturbances, so they should have certain people to advise them, okay, you have to do like that. So they are overcoming from their they are returned to their equilibrium, the following a shock. It's called the engineering resilience. Ecological, socio-ecological. Ecology, we all know that it is related to the environment. So the environment and socio-ecological, it's a human beings. We cannot live separately without environment. Environment, the human being always cluster together. Anything happen to the environment, apparently it will affect the human beings, right? So if it is anything happen, the disturbances, we have to move on. If it is anything happen to the environment, the leaders, the government, they need to fix to give the proper support to the human beings. If I say social development, socioeconomic, community resilience, the best example is COVID-19. So we witnessed what is the impact on COVID-19. Many of the people lost their life. It may nurses, doctors, or normal people because of the COVID-19. So So how they move on from this kind of the global alarming situations, that is the resilience. If I give you best example for economic resilience is the airway industries. You know, the airlines industries, it's very had a very bad business because of the COVID-19. And recently in Qatar, I think the September 20th, they organized a big conference to discuss about how they going to bounce back their business. So what are the strategy they have to use? So that is they call this is the airline resilience. So this resilience phenomena is not only related to one particular domain. It's related to every field, every organization, every industries, individual, group, community. So the core point of this resilience is how you are moving back. That is the resilience. Okay, when I'm talking about the organizational resilience, because there is organizations also sometimes they overcome the risk, the threats in their organization. When I'm talking the organization, I'm not meaning only healthcare sector. I mean all kind of business, all kind of industries. So they have to have understand certain point how to become a resilience. To understand the organizational resilience, we need to understand what is the UCA environment. The UCA environment, it's saying about V for volatility and U for uncertainty and C for complexity and A for ambiguity. Volatility. So I'll give a good example. If you ask your grandparents or your father, mother, if you ask, do you, in your age, do you had any changes? And they say, of course, yes, they had a changes. And when we are now present condition, if you had any change, if you feel what are the changes around the world, yeah, we also feel changes, but the changes is constant. But what is the rate of changes? The speed of changes is different. If you consider the past decades, the speed of changes is not same as what currently we have. Okay, so whatever the threats happen, it's so quick nowadays. So the industry need to understand the rate of change and act accordingly. Uncertainty. So when they're having the vision, they should have the clear visions. So the informations, whatever the informations needed in the industry, it should be very clear. So it will help them to fix the gap, and it will help them to motivate the business to go in the right track. So uncertainty, they need to understand. Complexity, it's a very important factors in VUCA environment. Why? For example, if the industry want to start new business in different countries, they cannot just right away go and start the new business. They need to understand what is the local regulation says, what are the requirement, what are the what kind of employees they needed to start the new business. So directly, so they have to understand all these things. The complexity it may be simple, it may be a moderate level, it may be a higher level. So they need to understand the complexity of the business, then they have to then they have to move on to the other stage. So that is the complexity should be understood. This ambiguity, the lack of clarity. Let's say I'm doing some business and I just want to move on to the another business. I don't have any experience. Let's say I'm in the hospitality, then I want to invest my all money in making movie. It's totally different. So until unless the industries and the organization have the clear idea about what they are doing it, so if then they will be having lack of clarity, that is called ambiguity. So what I'm trying to say here, the organization must understand they are existing in the VUCA environment. So understand the VUCA environment, they have to find how they way to move on from the VUCA environment. There is antidote for everything. So we are in the healthcare professional, we know that the medicine, it will harmful for the patients. If we give morphine overdose, we have antidote for that, right? So this VUCA also, they have antidote. Volatility, so they don't have clear vision, so it can be fixed by the vision. Okay, uncertainty can be fixed by clarity. Complexity can be fixed by understanding the complexity. Ambiguity can be fixed by agility. So if they follow this antidote for the VUCA environment, the organization, it helps them to go in the right track, and it will help them to develop the resilience and well-being. Okay. And additionally, the experts, they advise, they have the 6 components which they have to be taken care of. The first thing, anticipate, and second thing, the resist and absorb, respond and adopt, and recover. So these are the things they have to follow. So anticipate, what do you anticipate? So you have to anticipate the thread of the business, and we have to prepare it, and we need to resist. If anticipate, we have to trying to resist, or we have to trying to absorb, and we have to, the organization has to take some action to mitigate this threat. Then how the organizations responding to respond. So it means the organization has to ready to respond, and they have to have a strategy to overcome all the threat. The threat maybe comes from internal and external. So whatever the threats, the organization must ready to understand the VUCA environment and to overcome the threats. Okay. The health system resilience. So we are in the healthcare industries. We must understand the resilience in health system also important, because the health system is most important crisis happening, immediately, and it will threat to the patients and as well as employees. So health system resilience must be taken care worldwide. Okay, there are the 4 factors which positively contribute the health system resilience. The one is information and resources, governance, and external environment. So let's see what is the in the informations, what are the positive contribute explained in the informations. When I'm saying about the informations, it can be viewed as relevant to the health system resilience. It is in 2 categories. Okay, it's a gathering and disseminations. Let's say any from the leaderships, when they want to fix some issues in the organization, or they want to have some improvement plan, so we do always the brainstorming. When you do brainstorming, what is the experts say, when you do brainstorming, and we need to involve the people who going to do this improvement plan. So when you do brainstorming, keep the required core people in the brainstorm, then they can share their opinions, so the organization will get best feedback or best plans to overcome the whatever the troubles. Okay, so as then the information goes to they will get the fruitful informations, and simultaneously this will help them to analyze the threats. So what the information include, the proper dissemination of information allows to develop trust in the organization. Okay. Next is the resources. The resources is very, very important in the organization. It can be a human, it can be a physical, material, financial. Whatever the resources, adequate resources, it has to be available all the time. So it will help to overcome any kind of threats. The human resources, we know that human resources means the employees properly trained and motivated and adequate employees if in the available in the organization, so they will be ready to tackle any kind of situations. So this is the thing the organization must remember, to have adequate human resources, physical and material and financial. Physical, it means the medical equipment, the facilities, the medicines. So these three also important in the healthcare organization, right? So medical equipment, if you want to provide some kind of service, there should be a proper medical equipment. Without that, can't do anything. So I remember in the past uh, years back, so in one of the hospital, they run out of the oxygen cylinder in the ICU. And of course, if there are no oxygen cylinder, so we know what will happen. They lost more of their life. So this kind of thing shouldn't be there. So this is the important. We are dealing with human beings. So the organization or healthcare sectors, they have to be ready according to the scope of service. They have to be able to provide all kind of medical equipment, facilities, medicines should be available in their sectors. Financial, it's a very, very powerful resources in the organization. Financial support always needed. So this is the responsibility of leadership, to have the enough financial resources to overcome any kind of threats in the organization. Governance. Governance and the leaderships, they are the core people of the organizations. So sometime if the leadership changes, and if happen, it directly or indirectly affects the workflow of the environment. So the organization must aware of what kind of leadership, what kind of clinical governance, and how the team is helping to build up the good outcome in the organization service. That is very, very important. So they say the clear management structure with a strong leadership is required to build a resilient team. So strong leadership with a good clinical governance is very important. That's why in the JCIA we have one chapter is called clinical governance. So the survivor always look into the clinical governance to know about the organization's capabilities. Okay, this external environment. So if the organization wants to move on from the standard, they want to give standard cares, so of course they need to collaborate with other facilities who is already having the good standards. For example, so we have the ISO standard. So now the most of the hospital, they want to seek attention from the JCIA. They want to accredited by JCIA. Why? Because the JCIA has all the safety standard. So if they collaborate with JCIA, so the customer feels satisfaction that okay, this hospital has good standards, so I'm going to have my treatment will be very standard, so my safety is priority in the hospital. So that's why most of the health sector, they want to accredited by JCIA, and there is so many accreditation parties available. So this collaboration is very, very important in the organizational resilience. Okay. So I talk about the organization resilience, the four important categories: informations, governance, and collaborations. These all the things very important in organizational resilience. Okay. So if the organization does all the said domains effects, so there will be a positive effect. So it will improve the positive team culture and the support to the manager and the leadership, and the employees will give the positive contribution, and the information from the clinical the leaders, it will reach the all the employees, and the participation will be very fruitful. So it will avoid health and stress related symptoms, withdrawal and performance, any negative performance, it will be move on. The work attitudes, the bad attitudes will be move on if the organizations ready to build a organization resilience. Okay. So I talk about the organizational resilience, and there are 6 domains of resilience which help for the people to overcome the emotional turmoil or adversity. Okay. So what are the 6 domains of resilience? It says vision, composure, reasoning, health, tenacity, and collaborations. So this is not only applicable for certain kind of people. It is applicable for each and every individuals. So if you see you are in trampoline, how the trampoline goes, you bounce back, right? So it's not in the resilient people, they will not bounce back. More than bounce back, it's like a climbing the hill, so we have to move on. So that is called resilience. Okay. So to get that kind of resilient sensations, so once they need to understand their vision. So without the clarity of the visions, if you whatever you do, it will end up with frustrations. So have a clarity of your visions. Okay, my visions, let's say in the Olympics, we know the many sports in Olympics. So what is the vision, what is the purpose of the participating in Olympic? They want to get the medal for the country. That is their goal. So for that goal, how they train themselves, that is their the effort. The effort should be based on the visions. So it shouldn't be go to the two different lane. Your vision is different and your effort is different. No, it can't go together. It has to merge together. Your vision and the effort should be merged together. So you will get the meaningful effort. And composure, you have to be very calm and control your emotions. We know that if anything happen, automatically it's a body response to go on fight and flight response, right? So there will be some hormonal changes, or you feel like very stressed. For example, if someone, your boss or someone is calling you, okay, can you come to my office? But immediately you feel like, oh my god, why she's calling me? I did something? What happened? What she's going to discuss? So you should have the immediately the negative thought is coming out from you. No, we need to able to control. Okay, she just calling to discuss something. Because if you go with your stress, and you end up with getting frustration. So composure, conjurance is very, very important. So let me move on my slide. Okay. Okay. So this is as I said, the positive interpretation is very, very important to get the higher resilience. So we need to be proactive. So don't wait until some problem comes and affect you. So if you in a certain kind of emotional disturbances, you just make your mind how I am going to deal it, how I'm keeping myself ready to deal it. That is need to be proactive. Okay. So this is the reasoning. It's consists of creativity and innovation of problem solving and anticipation also. So according to the severity of your problems, you need to think beyond the pot, beyond your, beyond the border. You have to think. So okay, when something gone wrong, look for everyday performance variability rather than specific causes. So I'm doing the same thing. Let's say, for the simple example, you want to try some recipe, and when you try first time, you feel like, no, this ingredients is missing, this spices is missing. So I have to fix that one. So every day you are checking, every time when you try, so you understand, okay, last time I did like that, so I have to fix this, fix the thing, so I can get the whatever the recipe, the proper recipe I can get. So it is not applicable for only cookery, and it is applicable for day-to-day life. So creativity, innovation of problem solving, this is a skill each and everyone has to develop it. Sorry. So this is not only can done by only the leaders. So it this is the skill, it can be developed in each and every individual. Okay. Resourcefulness also one of the necessary skill. So we need to actively build, and then more resourceful we are, the easier it becomes to make unusual connection and find the innovative ways. So find the opportunity, find the hidden opportunity. Okay, there is a thread, I cannot fix, but the there is a usual say that there is always plan B. Plan A doesn't work, always plan B. So you have to move on and go, we have to find the inner hidden opportunity to overcome the emotional or in the work related threats. Tenacity is called, this is include persistent, perseverance, it's a key. So if you want to try something, you don't give up. So there is a one usual say also, so never give up until you reach the goal. So we know that the if you have a goal, it's not, you can't easily take it. So the way is very challenging. You maybe feel that the road is very tough to achieve your goal. So be optimistic. So it's not like, okay, if I do this way, I get it immediately. No, you have to be optimistic, realistic. Okay, this is my goal. I prepare myself. My way is full of hurdles and challenges. How I'm going to deal it? So anticipate, and the same time you have to be work hard, persistence in your actions. That is very, very important, and be realistic, optimist. So that is very important to be a resilience. Collaborations, see, the humans are social animal, right? So we cannot work alone. So we need to collaborate, we need to be in the society. So we need to seek help from the society. It's not a wrong. So it's not don't we shouldn't be shame ourselves to ask help. The resilient people, they ready to ask help rather than keeping them, okay, I'm brave enough to tackle everything. No, you ask help. There is a people, the experts, the leaders, and the whoever around you, they are ready to help. So don't be, we shouldn't be feel like we left alone in the difficult situation, in the frustration, especially during we are working in the healthcare. So it is good to ask help from your seniors and the leaders when you need, and the right time, ask help. So support, needed for to become a resilience. And health, of course, good health, good mind. So this is to always together. To get the good health, of course, we know that we need to have a healthy nutrition and exercise and getting good quality of sleep. It will give you a good health. Okay. When I'm talking about resilience, I felt that I need to include stress in my topic, stress in my presentation, because the stress is more reason for the to become a to the person it's going on emotional turmoil or adversity. The stress is the prime things it affects the human beings. Okay, I just want to tell you about Hans Selye. So he is the one of the person. He's the one person who find out the stress related theories. So according to him, this stress, it's not all the stress is not making you feel bad and put it in your difficult situations. Some stress is called eustress and distress. The distress, according to him, he said the distress is a negative stress, so it make you to feel bad situations. So it make you to feel like emotionally disturbed. That is called distress. The positive stress is called eustress. Let's say your boss or the leader giving some task. Okay, you need to finish this task this time. I want to see it. Okay, so you are motivated. You use your all the creativity, your motivations. You want to finish the task, but you are in the stress to finish the task. It is not distress. This is a eustress. This is a positive stress, because the outcome is good. So you know that if I do this one, I will get the fruitful outcome. So that is called positive stress and distress. So we must understand not everything is a stress. So something is positive, something is distress. So if I'm having the positive stress, I should not think I felt very bad. So that's what Hans Selye is saying about the stress and distress. And furthermore, he's explaining his stress theory with general adaptation syndrome. Okay, so it's called Gall-Stiles theory. Okay, so the first stage, alarm. So when you are in the stress, your stress hormones starting in your body. So your body is in fight and flight response. So your body is saying alarm. Oh, okay, this is a situation. You just be yourself to prepare yourself to overcome this stress. Then what automatically you want to move on from the stress. This is called resistance. So you have your body is it's try to fight back, is using your all the capabilities. Your body is trying to fight back the stress. So that stage, maybe you have fatigue, anxious, maybe it may lead to depressions. And the third stage, exhaustion. So your cortisol plays very important role in during the exertion stage. So what is going to happen in the exertion stage? You will have memory loss, maybe cognitive dysfunctions. So the people, many of the time we heard from people, I gave up. I cannot take it anymore. So this is a thing, the exertion stage. So what he said, when your body is in alarm stage, prepare yourself and try not to move on to the stage of exertions. So that is when the people in exertion stage, they are becoming like they feel like I'm hopeless, I'm very depressed. We know that, right? In psychology, depression is very, very huge topics, and there is a treatment for that. So why these people, if you go and ask them, so they will say that no one will go to depression immediately. So there will be alarm stage, resistance stage. In this two stage, so as a healthcare professional, as the human beings, we need to support. So when we are giving support to these people, they are becoming resilient. So you are making the resilient force by your experience. So that's what does Hans Seil's theory says: alarm stage, resistance stage, and exertion stage. Okay. So when you are stressed, there is there are some symptoms. This is physiological symptoms: sweating, dryness of the mouth. There is a health effects, which is you may get nausea, headache, sleep problem, and ulcers and diarrhea. And behavioral symptom: restlessness, shaking, nervous, and taking longer over talks, and changes to appetite, excessive drinking, it comes under behavioral symptom. Cognitive effects: poor concentrations, so forgetfulness, your inability to take a decision, that is in the cognitive effect. Subjective effects: anxiety, irritability, depression, moodiness, aggressions. So if you feel these kind of symptoms, so make yourself to move on from that and seek somebody's help. Don't be feel bad when you are asking help from some others. So because sometimes the people don't understand, am I stressed or no? So I just want to tell you about the studies. It was done. So they had a two group of people. So one group of people, they are stressed, but how they ventilate their stress by, like a aggressive, shouting and all these things. And another group of people, they are also stressed, but they are taking in calm and simple way. But the researcher is a cardiologist, so he want to check how he's what is the which group is more prone for the heart problems. So at the end, he find out the person with this argument and this attitude, it's more prone for the heart condition. See, both are stress, but the way they tackle the stress is different, right? So if we totally understand, we cannot be in stressless life all the time. The frustration, stress is every day we have in the family, at work, and in the organization level, in the country level, different kind of stress. The thing is how to move on. What are the strategy I'm going to use? And if I have this kind of symptoms, what I'm going to do? So that is matters. So it will make you the resilience. Okay. So the resilience here, so attitude and perspectives, valuing what you do as a team member, maintaining interest in the job, developing self-awareness, and accepting your own limitation, optimism, and balance and prioritizations, supportive relationships, and organizing your work environment. It will all help you to move on, some of the most of the threats. And for example, when I do my healthcare management course, I got this tips, like when you want to do some task, you don't do more to-do list. I know you know what is to-do list. To-do list, okay, I have to finish my number one job, number two, number three, number four. So these are the things I need to finish. Instead of to-do list, you better to put the priority. Okay, so for example, in your to-do list, the first task, it's not priority than the number 5 task in your list. Okay, so prioritize your work which is more important, then give attention to that kind of task rather than giving attention to the task one in your to-do list. Okay, this kind of simple strategies help the leaders or the person to overcome the threats. Okay. The American Psychology Association suggests some 10 ways to build resilience and to maintain the good relationship with the family member, friends, and others. Avoid seeing crisis or stressful event as unbearable problems. So that's what, Hans Seil said, there is a positive stress and there is a negative stress. To accept the circumstances that cannot be changed. So we know the grieving is very, very emotional situations. So what we have to do, we have to accept the situation and move on. To develop realistic goal and move towards the road. Okay, and to take decisive action in adverse situation. To look for opportunity and self-discovery after a struggle with loss. And developing self-confidence, to keep a long-term perspective and consider the stressful event in a broader of context. So maintain hopeful outlook, expecting good things and visualize what is wished. And to take care of one's mind and body, exercising regularly, paying attention to one's need and the feeling is, this is the some of the tips given by American Psychological Associations to build up the resilience in individual. Okay. As I said, we need to ask for help. So let's say if you see the picture of the people doing the very heavy workout in the gym. Okay, so when they do heavy workout and they have their personal trainer to do the workout, what benefit they get? They may be fit and they will get the good muscles or good shape, whatever they want, right? And if you are carrying the load alone, you will feel stress. If you share your load, or if you share your disturbances, frustrations to someone, you feel relief. It's not like you are passing your frustration to others. It's not like that. So you will get the tips, you will get the advice how to handle it. That's what in the personal instructor they are having in the gym. They will say, okay, go to this kind of workout, you will get this muscle, you will get this effect, instead of doing yourself own and you will get injury, at the end you will get injury. So ask for the help. So this is the thing, we need to reframe resilience away from I can shoulder it all to ask for help when I need. Resilient people work through issues with other people. So please don't be never feel naive when you ask for help. Okay. So if I'm resilient, what are the benefits I'll get? So if I feel like I am directionless, so I will become a goal oriented. If I'm having emotional impulsiveness, so if I'm resilient, I'm able to control my emotions. I know how to play with my hormones. I know what is the alarm stage. I know the resistance stage. I will not go to exhaustion stage. So I will have my positive thought, so I can overcome whatever frustration comes on my way. So we are ready to little self insight to self knowledge and insight. So you, when you are in the stress, you feel like you are a blank in the, even in the organization. So in sudden threat comes, it's like a sudden shock. Okay, so in when I do the code blue, uh, the BLS, so when the heart is stopped, so we using the AED to shock the heart, you know, to give the make, to bring the rhythm, to bring the pulse. So that's why. So when you analyze yourself, what is my capabilities? So I will get some insert or some knowledge I will learn, and I will use to that knowledge I will use to overcome the any kind of situation. So don't be stuck. So if you are resilient, you can be a solution focused, so you can find your solution. How you find your solution? Be anticipate, be proactive, then you can find your solution. Blaming others, this rest, the people in the stress, they think, oh, you know, this happened because of this happened because of that, and it shouldn't be like this, she should not be. No, don't blaming others. So instead of that, you accepting the responsibility and try to not to do that one, that thing which make you to stress, and move on from that to accepting the responsibility. Isolated. So as I said, the humans are social animal. We need support. The support maybe come from the family, and support from the organization, and support from your friends and from the families. Never feel isolated and try to connect with people. And if you think unthinking, reacting, and you will move on to be purposefulness. So whatever the think, it make you to stress, and it will make you to the purposeful thinking. So dear dear friends and colleagues and teammates, the resilience, it's not related to one particular individual. It's not the born traits. We need to develop ourselves. You know, the leaders, we know about many leaders, Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. They are born leaders, and they have opportunity to show their leaderships. But in the resilience, it's not born characters, it's not born traits. We need to develop in whatever the situation. That's why the resilience, it's not particularly related to one kind of sector. It is for the organization, it is for individual, it is for the community, it's for all over. So how we are moving back, it's called resilience. Okay, we know that the WHO defines health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. So if you remember Maslow hierarchy theory, the basic needs, food, water, and shelters, and safety, these are the basic needs. If the person have basic needs, they can able to overcome the stress. According to the many literature review, they are saying this one. If the person doesn't have, if the person does have all these basic needs, they can easily overcome the stress. If the person doesn't have all the basic needs, it's a bit hard to overcome the stress. So we need to, as a healthcare professional, we need to have good physical, mental, social well-being to become a resilience. I just shared some link. If you go through this link, there is a resilience tool. There is a many questionnaires. So you need to understand, include in the, you need to take these questionnaires. At the end of the questionnaires, it has some points. It will make you to analyze yourself, that how what is your resilience score. So we can try that You can try that one to use this resilience scoring tool. It help you to analyze yourself. So I put hourglass picture because this hourglass, it's this is a timing, right? For the timing we are seeing, it's the stress is not like the hourglass, so we can move on. So there is always other day, so there is always the room for the improvement, the room for the changes. So so we are the resilience, and we have to be resilient, and this is needed for our physical, mental, and social well-being. So this is my references on my presentations. So I just want to sum up my presentation. So resilience is the person how they able to cope up with the stress, and there are a lot of strategies available, and like clear vision, anticipations, and go on your goal, the goal oriented, ask for the help. And the resilient is not related to one particular sector. It is needed in organization to organization. They need to understand the VUCA environment to make it the organization in successful stage. So you can feel free to ask if you have any questions.
Thank you, Sam, for a really interesting presentation. I think it was really, really helpful. But you feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions for Sam, or you can type them in the chat box.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Doctor.
Hi, I just want to thank Sam for this very interesting talk, and really we need it. We need to like to improve our personal and our team worker skills. So thank you very much for that, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hi, good morning, Sam. And
Good
good morning, all.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Kavita.
Yes, very well presented. And the content was also nice. Just wanted to add on, certain relaxation techniques will also be helpful in building up the resilience of the people. So we should also concentrate on different relaxation techniques. What is your view on that?
Yeah, the relaxation technique, the one technique what I aware of is a mindfulness. So if you go to the mindfulness training, so it will help you to relax your what are the tensions. This relaxation techniques, it make you to like I remember some of them when they heard any stressful situation, they be quiet and they will manipulate with their breathing technique. So then, because when you do this breathing technique or mindfulness technique, what your body will say that you will give like some seconds to analyze the situations. This is stressful situation, okay, let me calm my mind. So my mind will play what I have to, how I'm going to react, whether I'm going to bring the cortisol or I'm going to bring the adrenaline. So this is the things we have to learn in the relaxation technique. That's why when you do the exercise, also one of the relaxation technique, when you doing exercise, it will eventually, the adrenaline rush will be increased. This adrenaline thing, the rush, the arteries, it will regenerate your blood flow in the arteries. So it will give you the stage of euphoria, like you feel relaxed. So these are the technique is needed when you overcome the stressful situations.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. I thank you all for attending my CME. Hope I conveyed some very fruitful informations. I definitely practice it, and I'm practicing it. So I'm encouraging the co-workers, my dear doctors, my friends, my colleagues, please follow it. We are not left alone. There are many people it's ready to help us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It doesn't seem like there are any other questions. I mean, are there any other questions from anybody before we end the session? I just want to remind everybody to also complete the post-test evaluation forms that have been posted in the chat box. And if there are any queries in regarding certificates or anything, you can email academicaffairs@hplus.ae.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.